A UFC champion gets blasted as a liar for friendly messages he never wrote. Analysts rush to defend the teammate's excuse, and a contender says an uncounted takedown could rewrite the whole title picture. Behind every headline you saw today is a power struggle for the truth after UFC 323. So who is really controlling the narrative, and what does it cost to hold the MIC? Right after UFC 323, Petr Yan's account started posting friendly messages to Merab Dvalishvili, a surprise given how much trash talk flew leading up to their fight. The next day, the mood shifted fast. Merab called Yan a liar, blasting him for acting friendly online when the rivalry felt real in the cage. Yan stepped in with a detailed explanation, saying his manager Sad actually drafts these replies. Yan says every post gets his sign-off, but sometimes the manager softens the wording to keep things from boiling over. Yan insists he wants to know exactly what his opponents say, word for word, before responding. He even threw a jab back at Merab, asking if anyone really expects to be friends after everything that has been said. For Yan, the post-fight banter is more about handling business than building friendships. Aljamain Sterling blamed the loss on a rushed warm-up, saying his team planned to get loose after Moreno's fight, but a quick finish in the Van vs Pantoja bout threw off their timing. Fans online were quick to call this an excuse, but Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen pushed back hard. Both pointed out how much fighters rely on routine and mental preparation, not just physical drills. Chael even brought up how Mike Tyson's camp would make TV crews stall so Tyson could keep his exact walkout ritual. For fighters, it is about controlling every step up to the cage, and even a few lost minutes can mess with the head. Sean O'Malley isn't shy about his ambitions. He's been training with Song Yadong in his sights, aiming for what he insists is the biggest bantamweight fight possible, a rematch with Petr Yan. O'Malley points to his split decision win over Yan, making it clear he is 1-0 in that rivalry, but he is still fired up about a takedown at the end of round 1 that, in his view, never got counted. That detail fuels his case, even if the official stats do not back him up. For O'Malley, every move in camp is about building leverage, and he is not letting anyone forget what he thinks he deserves next. Brandon Moreno is not taking any time off after his TKO loss to Tatsuro Taira at UFC 323. Instead, he is already locked in for another fight, this time against Amir Albazi at UFC Mexico on February 28th. Albazi comes in on a 2-fight winning streak, most recently submitting Alex Perez in the 3rd round in November. That kind of quick turnaround is uncommon, especially coming off a stoppage, but it shows how fast the flyweight division moves. For Moreno, it is a chance to bounce back in front of his home crowd, and for Albazi, it is a chance to keep his streak alive against one of the division's biggest names. Henry Cejudo pulled back the curtain on Alexandre Pantoja's struggles, going back to a motorcycle crash in 2016 that left Pantoja with a dislocated elbow. According to Cejudo, that injury has been a big burden on Pantoja's career ever since, shaping everything from his training to his title defenses. Cejudo does not see a long reigning champion at flyweight. He predicts the 125-pound belt will keep changing hands, naming Kyoji Horiguchi, Makoto Takahashi, and Tatsuro Taira as real threats who are flying under the radar. For Cejudo, the division's depth makes every champion's reign feel temporary. Khamzat Chimaev has his sights set on something few have pulled off. He plans to defend the middleweight belt once, then move up to light heavyweight. Joe Rogan explained on his podcast that Chimaev's size gives him a real shot if he takes time to bulk up. Rogan also said you need an Olympic-level wrestler to really test Chimaev at the higher weight class. Meanwhile, the entertainment side keeps buzzing. Nate Diaz casually called out Paddy Pimblett in a conversational tone, and he threw in a prediction that Paul knocks Paddy out, saying he has his money on Paul. Paddy responded with a double thumbs up gif and the internet went wild. Ambition in MMA runs from legacy moves to viral callouts, and right now both ends are lighting up the feed. Carlos Prates found himself in the middle of a heated argument at the CFC event in Turkey, calling out a fellow fighter for what he saw as a cheap win after a disqualification. Voices rose, security stepped in, but it never crossed the line into a full-on brawl. Despite rumors, there is no confirmation that Prates was kicked out, just a lot of noise and debate about what counts as real sportsmanship in the fight game. Meanwhile, Arman Sarukian took a break from the chaos, posting a clip from a tiny Starbucks in the mountains, reminding everyone that not every fighter moment has to end in controversy. Ariel Helwani dropped a reaction video titled Jamahal Hill Roast Jan and Jack. He admitted he only watched about 30 seconds and did not dig into the details. Jamahal Hill fired back hard, calling Helwani a snake and saying he was flat out unprofessional. He accused Helwani of painting fighters in a bad light without doing his homework. The MMA community quickly picked sides, fueling the ongoing friction between fighters and the media. In mixed martial arts today, headlines shift fast and facts move even faster. As fighters and media clash, the real stakes are trust and reputation. Who owns the story? Right now, that fight is unresolved. Drop your take below.